Hindi or Urdu version is in description.
These days, the world is witnessing a disturbing rise in cases where women are killing their own husbands. Not out of self defense, not out of desperation, but simply because they claim to be in love with someone else. And mind you, I'm not targeting any specific gender group here, but there are some social issues behind this rising trend, which we will discuss at the end of this video. So stay connected till the end. Whether it's infamous Blue Drum case of Muskan Rastogi or honeymoon case of Sonam Raghuvanshi, the names may differ, but the pattern feels similar. It no longer matters whether the marriage was arranged or a love marriage. What once began in promises of companionship is ending in brutal betrayal. Today's story is one such case, a shocking story where a wife, instead of seeking freedom or divorce, chose to kill the very man she had once vowed to stand by for life. But what makes this case uniquely chilling, how closely it resembles to a Bollywood thriller movie Drishyam. The Ajay Devgan's classic, where a man hides a body in seemingly perfect place. Except here, this was not a fiction. This was real life. And unlike in the movies, reality leaves behind cracks that expose even the smartest lies. This is the story of Vijay Chavan, Komal, and Monu, a love triangle that ended in murder, deceit, and tragedy, and how Vijay's own brother took part in it. The story begins in Nalasopara, a crowded locality in Maharashtra Palghar district. This isn't a wealthy neighborhood. It's home mostly to middle class and lower middle class families. Many live in small apartments, some even in slums. Life here is modest, sometimes harsh, but affordable. Amid this hustle lived 35-year-old Vijay Chauhan. By his side was his 28-year-old wife Komal Chauhan, also known by other names Chaman Devi and Gudiya. Together, they had an 8-year-old son. The couple had married back in 2015. In the beginning, life seemed normal. Their small home echoed with the laughter of their young child. But as the years went by, disagreements began to creep in. Small arguments turned into frequent fights, and the bond that once held them together started to fray. By early 2025, cracks had grown deep, and then entered the third angle of this tragic triangle, Monu Sharma. Monu was no ordinary boy next door. At just 20 years old, he was nearly a decade younger than Komal. Academically, he shined, pursuing a degree in BSc IT, standing out as one of the brightest in his class, with staggering 95% score in his second year. To the world, Monu was a promising student with a bright future, but inside, he was reckless, immature, and naive in the matters of love and life. Komal, trapped in an unhappy marriage, saw in Monu the thrill and affection she believed she had lost. And Monu mistook the attraction and affection for eternal love. While Vijay worked in long, grueling hours, leaving at the 7 in the morning and returning close to 9 at night, Monu slipped into his house, visiting Komal in secrecy. For months, this affair continued under Vijay's nose, but secrets have a way of surfacing. One day, while checking Komal's phone, Vijay stumbled upon her private chats and photos with Monu. The betrayal hit him like a knife in the chest. A man who struggled daily for his family discovered that the woman he trusted the most was building a parallel life behind his back. For most couples, this would have been the point to seek separation or to file divorce. But Komal and Monu chose the darker path, a path that would soon destroy everything. Komal and Monu decided that the only way to be together and to live the life they imagined was to remove Vijay from the equation permanently. The plan was simple but sinister. Vijay would disappear and Komal would spin a believable lie. With money in hand and a new life awaiting, she and Monu would flee. But no plan is ever as perfect as it seems. On the 10th of July, the first cracks appeared. Vijay's brothers Ajay and Akhilesh grew concerned when he stopped answering the calls. They went to his home only to be told by Komal that Vijay had gone to Kurla for urgent work. Her calm demeanor convinced them. Why would their sister-in-law lie? But as days turned into weeks, suspicion deepened. At Vijay's workplace, they learned he had resigned abruptly a week earlier. This revelation didn't add up, and by 19th of July, Komal herself had vanished. Her phone switched off, her whereabouts unknown. Panic turned to fear. The brothers finally filed a missing persons complaint. When his brothers and police officer entered Vijay's house again, one detail caught their eyes: a section of newly laid tiles on the floor out of place compared to the rest. It was a curiosity and a gut feeling that made them pry open those tiles. The moment the first slab came off, an unbearable smell filled the room, and there, beneath the floor of his own home, wrapped in plastic, lay Vijay Chavan. If you have made it this far, take a pause, like the video, and consider subscribing to the channel so that you won't miss out any content. The discovery sent shockwaves across Nalasopara. A murder so bold, so calculated, had unfolded in a crowded locality. In the movie, Ajay Devgan's character hides a body beneath a police station construction site, believing it would never be found. Here, Komal and Monu thought new tiles inside their house would erase all suspicion. But unlike cinema, life isn't flawless. The mismatched tiles became their undoing. Investigators quickly pieced together the timeline. Experts estimated Vijay had been killed around 5th or 6th of July, meaning he had been buried for nearly 2 weeks before the discovery. Soon police tracked down Komal and Monu in Pune, where they had fled with Komal's son. On the 21st of July, both were arrested. But the drama didn't end there. During interrogation, instead of sticking to one version, both tried to take the blame, perhaps out of guilt or perhaps out of misplaced love. Komal claimed she had poisoned Vijay's food and that Monu was not involved in it. Monu, on the other hand, swore he had fought with Vijay, strangled him, and that Komal was innocent. But police wasn't convinced. Given Vijay's physical strength compared to Monu's, investigators believed Komal likely sedated him first, and together they finished the job. The betrayal deepened when another horrifying truth emerged. In the covering of the crime, Komal had used Vijay's own brother Ajay. When neighbors questioned the digging inside the house, Komal had casually lied that it was plumbing work. Later, she asked Ajay, Vijay's brother, who was a daily wage worker, to help lay tiles over the pit, unknowingly helping hide his own brother's corpse. As if betrayal and deception were not enough, greed was also at play. Vijay had recently received a significant insurance payout. Komal and Monu wanted that money to fund their escape and the life together. They even fled with Vijay's phone to access his bank accounts via OTPs. The case of Komal and Monu raises disturbing questions far beyond Nalasopara. Are people truly being inspired by films like Drishyam, where elaborate plans to hide crimes are glorified? Or are films merely reflecting the darkness already lurking within society? But one thing is clear. In today's age, where loyalty is scarce and selfish desires dominate, human life is being devalued. Marriages, once considered sacred, are being reduced to a fragile arrangements. What most tragic here isn't just that her husband lost his life, it's that an 8-year-old boy lost both his parents, one to death and other to prison. His childhood is shattered, his innocence stolen by the very people meant to protect him. But this case also raises a bigger question for our society. Why do people still go to such extremes instead of choosing divorce or separation? Is it because even today, society continues to treat divorce as a taboo, an unacceptable stain, forcing people to either stay in unhappy marriages or take drastic destructive steps? If you like this video, then I would request you to check out our other videos as well. The link is in description.